Welcome back, smart mathematicians. Let's do question 4e. In the diagram alongside f of x is equal to 5 over x minus p plus q, and g of x is equal to logarithm of x to base 3. X is equal to 2 is the vertical asymptote of f of x, and y is equal to 1 is the horizontal asymptote of f of x, and it passes through C. For what values of x is f of x times g of x less than 0? Okay, what is the meaning of this? So this is a product. This is a product. So when you're multiplying two things and getting less than 0, getting less than 0 means you're getting negative. Negative. So when you're multiplying two things and getting a negative answer, it means that one of them is negative and the other one is positive. So the functions, if you look at the functions, they change their signs at the x-intercepts. They change their signs at the x-intercept. Like remember we said coordinates of A are negative 3, 0, and then the coordinates of B 1, 0. So before x is equal to negative 3, it means this side, we can see that f of x is positive. And then g of x does not exist because g of x does not cut the y-axis. And then here between negative 3 and 0, we can see that f of x is negative now. Okay, and g of x does not exist. And then if we come to b here between 0 and 1, between 0 and 1, we have both g of x and f of x. G of x is negative, and then f of x is what? Is negative. You see that? Yeah. Negative means below the x-axis. Below the x. When they are above the x-axis, the graph is positive. When it's below the x-axis, the graph is negative. And then when you come here between 1 and 2, we can see that g of x is above the x-axis is positive, but f of x is negative below the x-axis. So this is the region we want because the product that is negative. So f of x times g of x here between 1 and 2 will give us a negative answer. Right, after 2, both graphs are above the x-axis. So this is positive, positive. Positive times positive is what? Is positive. So we don't want that. So this is the region that we want here. Okay, let's just discuss further about this. So we have our B there with the coordinates of 1, 0. And then let me just extend this so that you can see clearly. And then we have this region here between 1 and 2. Between 1 and 2, we see that g of x is positive and f of x is negative. G of x is above the x-axis, and then f of x is below the x-axis. And then now it says we want where the product f of x times g of x is less than 0. Less than 0. So what will be the answer? We cannot include 1 because where it is less than 0. If we include 1 will give us 0. It will be equal to 0. At 1, g of x is equal to 0. You see that? So 1 cannot be included. And also we cannot include 2 because 2 is the asymptote. So both 1 and 2 are not included. So it means f of x times g of x less than 0 when x, say when or if, when x is an element of 1 or is an element from 1 to 2, not included. Okay, or you can say x is greater than 1 but less than 2. That's how you can write it. Okay, we're going to meet when you do question 5.